Hi friends, today I am going to discuss the question answers of the chapter The Last Lesson. This is the chapter number 1 of Flamingo book of class 12. So let us start. First question. Why did not Franz want to go to school that day? Answer. Franz did not want to go to school that day because he has not learned rules of participles, and he was thinking that M. Hamel would scold him. Next question. What things Franz saw on the way to his school? Answer. Franz saw that day was hot and bright. Birds were chirping at the edge of the wood. In the open wood, Prussian soldiers were drilling. When Franz passed from town hall, he saw crowd near bulletin board. He wondered that what the matter could be. Next question. What tempted Franz to stay away from school? Answer. Day was hot and bright. Prussian soldiers were drilling in the wood. Birds were chirping, and M. Hamel was going to ask questions on participles, and Franz had not learned anything about it. He was frightened of his scolding. Next question. What had been put on bulletin board? Answer. A war was going on between France and Prussia. The French district of Alsace and Lorraine were under the control of Prussian force. Order has came from Berlin that French is not allowed to teach in these districts. Notice for the same has been put on bulletin board. Next question. What did Franz wondered when he entered the class that day? Answer. There was no noise outside the class. When Franz entered to the class, he saw M. Hamel was wearing his beautiful green coat and his frilled shirt, which he wore on inspection and prize distribution days. Franz saw some elderly people sitting on back benches. All this wondered Franz. Next question. How was the scene in school in the morning of last lesson day? Answer. Usually when school begins, there was a great bustle which could be heard in the street. There would be the noise of opening and closing of desk and lessons repeated by the students in a loud voice. But on that particular day, it was all very quiet. It was quiet as Sunday morning. Next question. Why were some elderly people occupying back benches? Answer. French district of Alsace and Lorraine were under the control of Prussia. Studying and teaching of French had been banned there. M. Hamel was the teacher of French language. He had been working for 40 years in this school. Next day, he is leaving the school. Old people were sitting at back benches to give him honor and respect. Next question. How did Franz react on the declaration that it was his last lesson? Answer. Franz used to waste his time in useless activities. He always considered his books a nuisance. But now he thought that they were his friends, whom he could not leave. Next question. What was the mood in classroom when M. Hamel gave his last French lesson? Answer. Mood in classroom was that of sadness. There was pin drop silence in the classroom. Even old village people had come to attend this class to give honor and respect to the teacher M. Hamel. Next question. How were M. Hamel and parents responsible for children's neglect of French language? Answer. M. Hamel would often ask them to water his plants instead of teaching them. And when he wants to go for fishing, he gave them a leave. Full stop. Some parents would send their children to work on a farm or at a mill so that they could earn some money. Next question. These words were a thunderclap to me. What were those words and what was their effect on France? Answer. When M. Hamel announced in the class that this is the last lesson of French, order had came from Berlin that French is not allowed to teach in district of Alsace and Lorraine. Only the German is taught in the schools. These words were a thunderclap to me. France started liking his books and his teacher of French named M. Hamel. This was the effect of those words on France. Next question. What did M. Hamel ask Franz to recite, and how did Franz fare in it? Answer. M. Hamel asked the Franz to recite the rules of participles. He wants to recite those rules of participles without any mistake, but he gets mixed up on the very first word. His heart was beating and he did not dare to look upward. Next question. What happened when Franz heard that his name was called? Answer. Franz heard that his name was called. It was his turn to recite the rules of participles, but he had not learned the rules of participles. He wanted to recite those rules of participles clearly in a loud voice, but he gets mixed up on first word. His heart was beating and he did not dare to look upward. Next question. What did M. Hamel say about French language? Answer. M. Hamel says that the French language is most logical and beautiful language in the world. He asked the class to guard their language and not to forget it. He says that this language will help in attaining freedom from Germans. Next question. What did M. Hamel teach to his students on last day of school? Answer. First of all, he taught his students grammar. After grammar, student had a lesson in writing. Each student was given a new notebook. On the notebook, France Allais were written in beautiful handwriting. After the writing, children had a lesson in history. So friends, in this video it is enough. I will come back soon with some other question answers of this chapter.